can we ask a controversial question that maybe you know what I'm going to say, maybe you don't, but sauna, cold plunge, those are like both really popular things. What are your thoughts?
I think they're both great.
Okay.
But I think the protocols where you mix the two of them, where you heat up and then you cool down to get that vasodilation and the vasoconstriction for the anti-inflammatory properties, that's where I think they both serve.
This is The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. Whether you're a seasoned real estate expert, a first-time home buyer, or if you're simply passionate about hearing small business stories, this is the podcast for you. Join us as we dive deep into the world of real estate and beyond.
Today's sponsor is Stacey Williams with Bright Mortgage. Stacey is the best lender in all of Arizona. Reach out to Stacey for all your lending needs. He is the best at finding you not only the best rate, the best loan program, but he also provides the best service. Well, welcome to episode 49 of The Real Deal. I am your host, Janine Igliani, with my co-host, Ryan Hatcher.
What's up, guys?
And our guests today, we get two this time, our husband and wife, Staci and Chandler, and they own 2 locations, maybe a third coming soon, Perspire Sauna Studios. We actually had the pleasure as a team of going. I've been with a friend as well, so I did it solo. I did it with a friend, which was amazing, but we're excited to have you guys because we're going to talk about your journey and where you came from and how you got to be opening up this business, and then all things sauna, right? Because that's awesome. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So we'd love to hear a little bit about who you guys are as a couple and where you're from, and kind of bring us up to date, like how did you meet? And we'll get into the nitty gritty, but tell us about yourself.
Cool.
Sure. Do you want me to tell a story? Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, so we actually just celebrated our 10-year anniversary just a couple months ago.
Congrats.
So been married just a little over 10 years. I grew up in Arizona. Chandler's lived here pretty much his whole life. My cousin introduced us, so we met through family, and just, history since then. We have 2 girls, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we've just always lived a healthy and active lifestyle. I grew up dancing, and then I got to dance professionally and cheer professionally for the NFL and the NBA, and Chandler can maybe go into a little background on his collegiate and athletic experience. But
yeah, Perspire resonated with me. My educational background is exercise science. So I have a graduate degree in exercise physiology, and then played college sports. So after that was on strength staff.
What'd you play?
Colorado Mesa University.
No, what did you play? What sport?
Baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, so played college baseball. Shortly thereafter, got my coaching, coached college baseball for a while, got my graduate degree in exercise science. So we started as members of Perspire. So all the health benefits to me, like, were a no-brainer. Yeah, I know we're going to talk about that, but it was just like, this is, especially after COVID and thinking where things were going, and the preventative side of just people taking ownership of their health. I just loved what it offered.
Yeah, I love that. I think that is one of the biggest changes, is people really started not just going with the status quo, but looking at like really taking initiative and taking their health into their own hands and saying, okay, I want to actually learn why I'm doing this, which I think led a lot of people to doing really great, healthy things. And so I love a sauna, and again, we'll talk about that. So you guys have been married. You guys were doing your own thing. You're working, you're staying home, raising kids. How did this kind of come into your path? You went there?
Yeah, we were members first, and it's right by our house. So we could, walk there, drive a golf cart there. So it was really nice and efficient to get there.
Yeah.
I was first, and then I told Stacey about it. And it was probably about a year, right, before you started coming regularly. So we were probably members 2 or 3 years before I started investigating. This would be a really cool business. And she tells a story about me wanting to own a Perspire, like going, this is a really cool, not only the modalities that they were offering, but like the business model. I really thought the business model was smart. Yeah. And she goes, I remember when we first drove by, you were like, I like to own a Perspire. And then 3 years later,
that's crazy.
We did. We live in the neighborhood right next door, and we just drive by every day. Yeah. He keeps saying, I'd love to own a Perspire. Just like.
Was that after you went, and that's why you said that?
Yes.
Are you, okay, so can we ask a controversial question that maybe you know what I'm going to say, maybe you don't, but sauna, cold plunge, those are like both really popular things. What are your thoughts?
I think they're great in tandem. I think that they both have a benefit. I think that, one of the reasons I like Perspire is that it casts a wide net. I say 18 to 98. Like it's going to hit people where they're at in the walk of life, whether it's preventative, whether it's recovery. For those people that are doing cold plunge, I think are more performance minded. You know, they're more in that lane where they're trying to push their body to perform,
and their mind.
Yeah.
Do hard things.
And even if it's recreationally, they're trying to get that extra 1%. So I don't think it casts as wide a net. I love it. And we're actually going to offer a contrast therapy in our new studio, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
The Perspire Snow Shower.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a version of that, except it's going to be rainfall. But back to your question, I think they're both great.
Okay.
But I think the protocols where you mix the two of them, where you heat up and then you cool down to get that vasodilation and the vasoconstriction for the anti-inflammatory properties, that's where I think they both serve.
So can you, for those that are listening that maybe aren't super familiar with really and truly what is a sauna? Because I think we all know, but like, does everybody know? Maybe not. Can you like give us like a firm definition of what is it? And then specifically, what is it that you guys, because you guys do it a little different, a little better, I would say.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We think so too. But so sauna is old. I mean, sauna, the idea of heating your body up in traditional sauna is thousands of years old. Infrared's new. So the heat mechanism, the infrared wavelength, where the heat is coming from, that's only been around probably since the 80s. And even now, people are infrared what? Is a microwave? Like they think of a light wave and they automatically think about the microwave. So infrared is not that. It's basically just on where the heat is or where the light is on the wave spectrum. That infrared portion is super active, and so to get really nerdy, the whole molecule is moving. That's what's creating the heat. So typically, just your electrons move in a molecule, but the whole molecule is moving. So that's why this wavelength produces heat. It penetrates deeper into your skin, so it's going to get to your muscles and it's going to get into your joints. So the penetration is going to be greater. I also think when you get into a traditional sauna, it's sort of stifling. Like you get in there and it's like 10, 15 minutes, you're like, get me out of here, because the heat source is external. It's heating you from the outside in. Infrared is going to heat you from the inside out. So I don't know if you guys experienced that.
That's good. Oh,
but
totally.
it was more tolerable.
A whole different
You could go longer. I can barely go 20 minutes. I'm like proud of myself. But with you guys, I could do the 40 minutes. And it feels like, it's like, I love that. That's like a great analogy, like outside versus inside.
Yeah, I'm a kind of a good example. I had never been in one, I don't think, until we went as a team.
Really?
I don't think I have. And if I have, it's for minutes. Like it wasn't even serious, nor did I understand the benefits. And so, I follow a lot of guys and women on Instagram that cold plunge, right? And that's just the thing. But sauna is really, I see this a lot more now, and for all the benefits. So what are the main benefits? Because I know you guys have it on your stuff in the office, but what is it?
And there's so many, which is why I loved it and why we're excited about it. But I mean, in short, it's mimicking sort of moderate cardiovascular activity. So if you think about all the benefits you're getting from moderate cardiovascular activity, you're getting those same benefits
and you're sitting there
from sitting in a sauna. And what are those? Those are increased cardiac output, right? Increased blood flow. Well, when we get increased blood flow, we get increased oxygen, because red blood cells are carrying the oxygen. So you get that anti-inflammatory property. So you're basically raising your heart rate, up into, depending who you are, 120s, 130s, and you're just sitting there. So you're getting a 40-minute cardiovascular workout by relaxing. If you watch your heart rate, if you wear a wearable in there, which is totally okay, you're going to see your heart rate spike. And when that happens, that's a good thing, because you're going to get the increased blood flow, you're going to get that increased cardiac output, and your body's working because it's trying to cool itself. Which is the mechanism of sauna. Your body's trying to cool itself.
Well, we were kind of joking. It'd be cool to weigh yourself before and then after, because of all you sweat. It's crazy.
But people are like, I didn't know I could even sweat that much. Right? Or,
Which is huge. That's the detox piece. Like, you're getting the cardiovascular component, and all the studies that show folks that will get into sauna 3 and 4 times a week, that their decrease in all-cause mortality is like 40%.
Yes,
cancer, stroke.
That alone is amazing.
It's amazing. And all that research out of Finland, because sauna is very ingrained in their communities there. There's like I think there's one person one sauna for every 5 people. It's crazy. But the sweating is a whole other benefit. It's the drainage, the lymph system. It's getting all of those detoxins out of your out of your pathways. Thinking about what's in our foods, the metals that are in our foods, what's in our air,
the microplastics,
your cell phone, the waste. So all those things get a chance just to flush out.
Yeah.
inside the sauna.
So what's the record? Oh, sorry.
Plus, you just have like the mental benefit of just like it's like peaceful, which I really love.
Oh yeah.
You guys offer private rooms, so you can go totally solo. You can go like I did with a friend. Her and I, when we went, we just literally sat in there and just talked the whole time. So it like went by like that, and we were like dripping sweat.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was so good, but
I had the beach. Y'all just listening to like
zoned out.
ocean.
Good for
going
you.
solo is so good. I've used saunas like if I ever strain my back working out or something, and then it's so nice to go, and I feel like it helps like the healing process, right? Just feeling better, like loosened up. I want to talk to you guys though about how did you go from I love Perspire and I love a sauna to I want to own one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I can mark on the calendar when that happened.
Really quickly.
Yeah, we were actually at our friends who you know, Mark and Steph Fiedler. We were at their house in Durango, and we were telling about this sauna, like Perspire.
Well, we're like, you guys should get one here at your house.
You need a sauna in your house. And like we're always talking about like research and stuff that I'm just from my background, and Mark's super interested in that stuff. And they ski and they mountain bike.
Yeah.
They're super active. So we're having this conversation with them at their house in Durango. It was over Memorial Day. And then one conversation led to the next, and he's like, let's investigate it. So there are partners in this business. They're phenomenal partners. And we just started asking questions, and I started vetting Perspire, and we got on calls with their corporate, and we said, hey, I had some questions. And then one thing led to the next, and we decided like...
They go through a vetting process with us and
they
make
vetted
sure
us,
we're
we
good
vetted
fits for
them.
one another.
Was that location because it was already there? So were they the owners that owned it were like, okay, we're ready to sell, or did you have to make them a deal or an offer? You don't have to get into the nitty gritty, but we love like the business side of things too.
Yeah,
That's a great question.
So we had already, after having this conversation, started buying some different territories and really wanted to capitalize on the East Valley. I feel like maybe similar to a gym or whatnot, like you're going to go where it's convenient for you. So, you know, if you can get there in 5 minutes and have your 40-minute session and get home, you know, quickly to your family. So we just really wanted that to be available to everyone within the East Valley. So we quickly started taking up territories to plan that out. And the first one was Cannon Beach that's coming up this fall that we're super excited about. But during that process, the two existing locations, we have Perspire Ocotillo, that's in Chandler, and then Perspire South Gilbert. Those just became available for sale. So the timing of it was kind of crazy. We knew the owners, great people, and it just all fell in place. So that's why we say it happened so quickly, because within like 30 days, we were owning studios versus, you know, we were thinking we had a year.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm not gonna lie, and I told you this. I was thinking, okay, what's it gonna cost to get one in my house? Right?
Yeah.
Like you were saying to your friends. But then I'm like, the business mind is like, you guys ever want to partner? I'm definitely interested. Because I love it. I think it's so cool. I've only been one time.
That's where my mind was at. I mean, the modality has to be attractive to the community, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to get people in there and they've got to see the benefits. But the business model, the things you don't see on the back end and how it's, which you guys know in and out, you know, just because of your success in real estate, it has to make sense on that end. And that's where Mark was such a good partner, because we have this background in wealth management and really understanding the finances. So we made a really good team, because I think up front, like the science I understand, and I think I can speak to the value and the benefit. And he understands business building because he's done it multiple times over.
Awesome.
So together we were like, we can do this. Like, we can. So that was really fun.
That's cool.
did you want to speak to it all, like the saunas in the home? Because, I mean, everyone's wanting to get them in their house now, which is great.
Yeah.
But there is a difference, and we have to kind of speak to members on that sometimes.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, my thought is like, I mean, there's a difference in like the actual sauna. So when you dive into like what the saunas that are in our studios, they're proprietary from Clear Light. They've got the red light bar that's only you're only going to get at Perspire, like unless you're going to get those two separate
medical grade,
medical grade red light. So there's benefits of just the actual devices in there. But I think there's something about coming into like an elevated environment, and you guys spoke to that. Like coming in, I think you'll notice like the studios are really aesthetic. They're minimalistic, but
I love that.
There's a good vibe in there. And
you got some sweet
It
water
just feels
bottles.
peaceful.
you got sweet water, but you got a towel service. And so you can come in and unplug, close the door, watch your show, chill out. I think it's different when you go in your garage. I mean, the benefits are the same. I'm not going to say like have to Perspire to get the benefits, but it's just different. Like you jump in your garage, you get your kids knocking on the door. It's not that spa feel. And that's what I loved about Perspire, is because it was that elevated experience. It wasn't, because because you guys talked about, well, we're sort of familiar with saunas in that gym environment,
Yeah.
but they're grungy.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Oh,
sit next to
yeah,
some
you feel gross. Yeah.
That's the worst part. It was we were
Yes.
talking about how there's 10 people and
Yeah.
she was saying there's only standing room only.
Oh, I've
How
been in,
weird is
yeah,
that?
all the
Thank you.
time. Yeah, where you're like,
And I think that's where we're at too, with just like the education side and also brand awareness, because Perspire is new,
Yes.
just in general, and especially to Arizona. So when people do see Perspire Sauna Studio, I think their mind might initially go to that sauna gym-like experience,
Yes.
and we're trying to have to re-educate.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's talk
Yeah,
about
still
that.
walk
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
People still walk in, they go, I get my own room?
Yes.
I'm like, of course you get your own room.
Right?
What?
Totally. I'm
Which they
thinking
love.
it's like a giant room with a bunch of people
Yeah.
that I don't want to be with right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how are you guys getting the word out? Because there is a whole component of you have to market, right? You have to sell the vision and get the word out there. So what are some things that you guys are doing that have been effective? And yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, now just being in there for, you know, a couple months and getting things all settled in, that's what we're most excited about, is to get the word out. And I think a big thing is just grassroots for us right now initially, you know, being here, working with you guys and other like-minded businesses, and just getting into the community, because truly people will, you know, drive by and they see Starbucks because, you know,
Yes.
that's everywhere, and they might just pass by Perspire, just not having that brand awareness. So we're really working on getting involved in the community, other like-minded
Which we're going to
businesses.
be doing.
Yes.
B2B is huge. I mean, and then going at our target audience, going at the boutique fitness, going at the other
Yes.
wellness spaces that our clientele are already at,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I love about Perspire, is that, you know, folks that are coming into Perspire, not all of them, but some of them are coming from some of those B2B relationships already 2 months in, because they understand, they respect their boutique gym, they respect it. So if it's being qualified by those people, they're like, oh, I'm going to try it. Yeah. So the more we connect with those people, I think we're going to get those people in the studio.
I think a lot of people are just more aware of like holistic wellness in general right now too.
Yeah.
Just all the benefits besides that. So it's not really a fad or trend like you might have looked at saunas, you know, however many years back. Like, people understand the research is there, it's science backed, and this is not going away. This is going to be something that everyone is doing.
And I think social media helps with that. Like I said, I've learned about the use of saunas so much more recently, just because I'm seeing on social media, some of the people I follow just say, that's amazing. You know,
Yeah.
So that's a huge piece. I want to talk about the fear of starting something and then doing it. Because there's money involved, right?
Sure.
There's time involved.
Yep.
There's a lot of blood and sweat in particular. Talk to us about that. Like, how do you get through that? What did you do?
Well, you pray about it, and you make sure that like it's in line with where you think, you know, where you should be going. So I think that's first and foremost one
Love
of the things.
that.
Great principle. to
Yeah,
start with.
and then you've got to have trust in your partners, right? But Mark and Steph, like, we love them dearly. We've been friends for a long time.
Our managers, our staff, like, we're just a
like-
team. It takes a village, right?
It does.
Yeah.
And then I think for us, like, our relationship, like, we've never really worked together. Like, I've had my things going and still do, and she's had her, you know, and we were intimately aware of like what our worlds were in work, but we've never collaborated together. So we're but so far so great. Like, she does marketing and PR, and she's great on that end, and I'm more back of the house operations. But there was some fear, like, it's a big risk. I mean, you take on a franchise, right? And you step out there and say, sign on the dotted line, and you commit to 3 originally, and then you buy 2 more, and then you have a 6th territory. Like, we've got big plans for this brand in the East Valley.
And
That's exciting.
I would say the fear for me would be, you haven't even proven that you can do 1 yet, right? Like, that's where I would be like, oh, can I do 6? Can I do 3? When I don't even have the 1 successful yet.
Well, to get into sort of the strategy a little bit, I think it was really helpful to get South Gilbert under our belt. So we took over ownership May 1, and just that short time of being in a studio that's up and running and just diving into the deep end right away versus trying to scale something, it was super scary. But I think in the long term, it's going to be to our benefit. We got thrown in, and we had to figure it out because April 30th, they weren't ours, and May 1st, they were ours, and here's the keys, and now you're on the hook.
Well, and I think the strategy to just go get your territory too, like, scoop it up now, because you know you have to have this faith that you're going to be guided, right, and that you're gonna make the right decisions, you're going to build it, and then
And having the passion for it too, right?
Yeah.
Like you can totally see the passion that you guys have for it.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of it. If you believe in it, then others will too. So damn, but if you build it, they will come,
Yes,
right? Like, but if you believe in it more than anything, right?
Yeah.
Then other people will.
It's one of the best
will do
movies
that.
ever, by the way.
And I think too that the opportunity was there because it's not always where you have the chance to get into something like early on, like a franchise Perspire before, if you don't take those territories now, someone else is going to, or some type of competitor is going to.
Right.
So that was really a leading factor. And I mean, you guys are in real estate, so real estate's drive a lot of things, like our new Cannon Beach location. We found the spot. Then you got to go for it, right? So that's been driving.
The visibility of the space. Like, what's around it? What are your mobilizers? Who's going to funnel business? There's a lot to it. So in that vetting process, when we were vetting them, we were asking all those questions, and we were seeing where the tea leaves as far as where the wellness trends are going. What are the consumers' habits in this space? Like we investigate that.
Demographics, everything.
I chatted with a friend that I actually made through this experience that owns 25 joint chiropractics. So I was like, okay, you've gone from 1 to 25 joints. Like, what is this process like? So in the background before we signed, we were doing our homework and saying, okay, what is this going to look like? And
They
so,
shared
as much homework as you can do.
Well, some of the things that I want to highlight that you guys have said that I think could be valuable for anyone in a similar position is, number one, you reached out to someone that had some experience in what you wanted to do that was able to help guide you, and maybe in an area where you didn't have that experience and knowledge, right? So that's a big piece of it. You had passion for it, which is a big piece of it. If you're going to take on a big thing like this, you want to believe in it through and through. I love that. Finding someone else that's done it before and gone before you and being able to talk. So like a mentor or accountability or ask for advice. Those are all like huge principles that any of us can lean into if we're thinking of doing something similar. I love that.
That's your point.
Well, and I was just thinking too, there are different ways to scale, right? Especially with the franchise. I'm curious about your model because you're busy. You got a couple of different things. You've got all kinds of things going on. Are you owner operator? You manage this thing, or are you more of a CEO type where you have a director that's going to be looking out, and running them in the day to day?
Well, Stacy alluded to this. Like, it takes a great staff. Yeah. And so we were fortunate enough to retain a manager with the purchase, and she's been great.
Good.
And then we brought in a new manager. And so that is a linchpin of this whole process, is the eyes in the studio every single day. You have to trust in those folks. Like Stacey and I are going to cast the vision, the broad strokes of where we think the business should go and making some financial decisions. But when you come down to hiring the 11th or 12th or 13th person in the studio, you've got a manager doing that.
Yeah.
And they're training them, and they're identifying where the deficiencies are and helping them train. And, do they want to be there long term and upward mobility? Like, those managers are really responsible for that. So we have a lot of faith in those folks because they're in there every day. They're interacting with their members. So we're going to be in there. We're in there now. But we won't be behind the counter as much because there's a lot of other things going on.
You can't do it all. So surrounding yourself with the right people is super important. We've talked a lot about the business, which I think is awesome, but I would love to have you guys go into, and we've touched on this too, but some of the benefits of sauna for somebody that isn't familiar. Like, who should sauna? Who's like an ideal candidate, and what are the benefits that they can expect from it?
Well, I think everybody should sauna. I think 18 to 98, right? I mean, it's going to hit everybody a little bit different. I think about, like, in the wellness space, people go to massage, right, for the relaxation, like they net 1 hour and they're going to massage. It's great. They go to chiropractic usually for pain relief. What I love about Perspire and the sauna is, like, you're getting both. And you're going to the gym for the cardiovascular benefit, but imagine stacking all those things together. So now I'm relaxed, right? Typically, maybe this feeling you get a massage, but you're getting the pain relief potentially. You talked about maybe stepping in the sauna when you have back or joint problems, and then the cardiovascular benefit of just the increased heart rate, the increased cardiac output, the increased blood flow. Like, therapy stacking is huge. Like, we don't have time to do all those things independently. So to find a modality where you can step into for 40 minutes and stack those things on top of each other, especially when you've got the infrared heat, you've got the red light, you've got the chromotherapy, we're going to be introducing halotherapy, contrast therapy. And you can do all 5 modalities in 3 minutes.
That's amazing. You have the different lights and they each have a different like benefit. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, red light in particular. What does that do for people?
Yeah. So the red light bar is in the top of the sauna, and red light is really great for skin. So what it's going to do is basically going to help with cellular turnover in your skin, and it's going to address the mitochondria, which is a fancy word. In your skin cell, you've got like the energy, where the energy is created from the cell and the mitochondria. And that's where ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is created. And so,
very sciencey.
I'm like, he'll talk.
So like that portion, the red light, it's helping with fine lines, it's helping with wrinkles, it's helping with collagen production, because that light wave is penetrating the cellular level, and it's helping that turnover be more effective and efficient. So the bad cells, sort of through autophagy, are moving away, and it's helping your good cells replicate more plentiful.
Nice. I just sold a house, and the lady had this bed length red light that would set on to basically hover over her.
Yeah. That's why I think, Chandler hit on like the therapy stacking, is because those methodologies and those therapies are elsewhere, but to be able to go into your 40-minute sauna session
and get all of it in one,
and not have to worry about, okay, after this, now I need to go home and put on my face mask for my red light, or, plug it in or go sit in that bed. It's all there. And that's really unique to Perspire.
Yeah.
Well, the day that we went, I had done an hour and a half long workout, and it was just done. And so we went in, and it was like the best thing ever. But tip wise, like what would make the experience better? I mean, obviously you need to hydrate, right?
Yep.
So what are some things that people need to know to make it a really good experience?
When they still have to finish telling us the other light.
We can talk about benefits kind of forever.
Yeah. So
we'll get into the tips for sure.
We talked about just the increased blood flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And which is great, like on the cardiovascular system, right? We talked about the all-cause mortality with stroke prevention.
Yeah.
And that's great. But for your skin, you think about when you sweat and your capillaries expand, it's bringing all the nutrients in the blood up to the surface of your skin. So that's why you're seeing you come out kind of flush, and you come out that sort of that glow. That's because you're trying to cool yourself, and so those capillaries are expanding. The oxygen is getting to your skin, and which is great. Pain relief. We think about joint pain when that heat is penetrating into your joints, into your muscle tissue. It's really creating that relief in that way. And so whether you're in there for your lymph system, trying to get that circulation, that deep sweat, that detox, you're in there for the cardiovascular benefits, because when your heart rate raises and you start to cool yourself, all those things are going to kick in, that cascading effect.
One thing that you had said, Stacey, when we were there, which I think is true, and people, maybe this could be like a misconception or a myth, is like, well, why can't I just go sit in my car in Arizona?
Oh yeah,
in the summer.
100%. I'm on like Facebook all the time, just like messaging back kindly to people that are like,
who opens a sauna studio in Phoenix? Like,
yeah,
you get that all the time.
I can just sit in my car, and just funny things like that. And that's where the education comes in, and that infrared heat is very different than the ambient heat from the outside, and just educating them on that. And honestly, like when we were members and Chandler went, and I think they opened maybe close to the summertime. And I was like, you're going to the sauna? Like I was one of those people because I didn't have the education. So just, rewiring people to understand that you're not getting those health benefits from being outside in the Arizona heat. Yes, is it maybe a greater feeling, when you're coming into Perspire in the fall or winter and you get to step out to that cool feeling? I mean, yes, that's amazing, but it doesn't have an impact on seasonality with the benefits of infrared. Yeah,
we're seeing that. What's interesting to see the membership rates from last year, and as education's improving, you're seeing the memberships stay, and it's 110 out. They're still getting there. Why? Because they know that's what's happening in that 40-minute session is irrelevant to the weather outside.
Yes,
that's a huge psychological shift for people. I'm so excited to see. And it's like I'm so glad that people are saying, yes, psychologically, I'd rather step out and be 50 degrees and have to put my sweatshirt on versus stepping. But it didn't devalue what just happened at 40 minutes in that sauna. You still got all the benefits.
Plus, it's a great time to just disconnect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the research actually shows that it helps you with heat acclimation in general. So being in the saunas, acclimating your body to that heat is going to help with the outside heat. So people that maybe just moved to Arizona, or even if you've been here your whole life, maybe you're at a certain age where the heat is taking a bigger toll on you. Just being in there is going to help in general.
And occupations are outside. Firemen, people that are on
Roofing,
roofs,
yeah.
landscapers, people that have to basically increase their
Yes.
tolerance threshold to heat, because you're basically mimicking that in the sauna, and your body's going, oh, I know what this feels like. I'm gonna get prepared because I'm used to doing this.
That's cool.
And that's really cool about sort of the effects on helping with the white blood cell count, because your body senses stress the same. It doesn't know if it's heat stress, if it's exercise stress, or if it's a virus stress. To your body, stress is stress. So if you can mimic that with heat, it's going to say, ooh, I've been here before. I'm going to increase my white blood cell count. So when a virus comes, you're going to combat that virus. So it's called hermetic stress. You're stressing the body on purpose to ward off against other stress that's going to come. And so that's sort of a mind shift with people, because I think when you think, stress from a virus or stress from exercise or stress from heat, your body doesn't know the difference.
That's
so
cool.
if you can practice stressing your body in the heat, you're going to get better off.
Well,
those other pieces.
that just reminds me, like, it could be a good marketing tip too for all the snowbirds or people that come from colder climates here. Come to the sauna so you can tolerate the summer outside a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it makes a big difference.
And speaking of that older population, Perspire is doing a study with NYU to look at heat. So heat therapy with the effects on cognitive decline.
Oh, wow.
And it's really promising to show that what happens with the neurotransmitters in your brain when your body heats up, heat shock proteins, blood-brain barrier, we talk about that later. That has a real effect on the plaque that's building up with Alzheimer's and some dementia, some forms of dementia. And they're showing that, like, this is promising. We need to go down this road because we're seeing populations that sauna frequently, they're not getting these forms of cognitive decline.
That's amazing.
Why?
Yeah, that's
So,
amazing.
I mean, to be continued, but that to me is like,
That is cool.
really cool.
And I was going to say,
Longevity in general.
You just mentioned earlier too, like not only the body, right, the physical aspect. There's so much benefits just with the mind. So I love that too, with the chromotherapy, the color light therapy, what it does for your body, and just like relaxing, de-stressing. Like, I joke around, but I literally tell everyone all the time, because it's 100% true. I'm like, you could go stick me in a sauna box. I don't know why I call it that, with my TV. Have everything off, and just having that 40 minutes of like just me time, relaxation, deplugging, keep your phone away, just that in itself is amazing. And then stick on all these health and wellness benefits for your mind, and your body with that. And it's like, why are we not doing this? Like, it's like a no-brainer. Like,
Well, I'm sold.
And across the network, we're seeing, across all Perspires, and there's like, I think, 60 studios nationwide. So it's a new brand. And they've got big plans to have, a lot more than that come, about 2028. They're on a trajectory of 500 studios. So we'll see if they get there. But they're noticing that the folks that come at least 8 times a month are the ones that are sticking around the most. It's because they're in there enough. Yep, they're in there enough to be able to see the benefits. Because some people come once a week and they're like, I don't notice anything different. Well, you need to come more often. It's easy for the owners to say that.
Right, of course,
But really, it's a dose response modality. It's cumulative. So the more you come, the better you're going to feel.
Interesting.
And so that 8 times a month is sort of a sweet spot.
I mean, similar to working out and eating healthy, like, right, you do anything, it's going to be great. You come in, you're once a week, that's great for you. You're going to get benefits. But that sweet spot is, 2 to 3 times a week. If you can get 4 to 7, I mean, even better, the percentage just goes up from there.
Yes.
So you guys have told us your locations. Can you tell us your hours?
Yes. So Monday through Thursday, we're open from 7 to 8 p.m. And then Friday, we close just an hour early, 7 p.m. And then on weekends, so Saturday and Sunday, we're open from 8 to 5.
Okay.
So we have pretty decent hours, we think. We have kids, right? So we'd love maybe one day the option for people, putting their kids down, can sneak in a little bit later, maybe those early birds for work. So we'll see as, we get our new studios open and what we can do about that. But a lot of opportunities for people come in.
Yeah, no, that's great. Tell us really quick about what is coming that's new.
Yes. So fall, hopefully November sometime, we'll be opening our 3rd studio, Cannon Beach, right there at Power and Warner. There's a lot of buzz and excitement about that corner with the surf park there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So we've got a spot right in there. It's sort of in that retail. It's power facing. We'll have all the great things that are happening in the current studios, but we're going to be reintroducing the Perspire snow showers, which is going to be a contrast option. So you're going to have your own personal shower in your room. That's going to be like a dialed down about 45 degree water.
Wow, that's cool.
So rather than sit in a cold plunge, it's just going to be rain.
Yeah, it's going to be rain. It's a soft rain. It's not like the way the water falls is going to be really delicate. So it's not going to feel like, eating with 45 degrees. It's really great. So the beta test they're doing, I mean, those showers are booked like as far out as you can book them because people always see that. And I think for us in this climate, I'm really excited to see what that does.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Because you think about it in your home, you can't get cold water in your house in the summer.
Right?
I try right now.
It hurts.
It's literally 10 seconds.
Or even your
It's not that cool.
your pool, right? Like in the winter maybe, but like the other day my husband, after we worked out, it was a hard workout, he's like, you want to go in the pool for a cold plunge? I'm like, it's probably like 85 or 90. Like that's not a cold plunge.
Yeah. So to do so jump out of the sauna maybe 3 minutes early, go in there, it'll be push button start. You're going to get about 2 minutes of water flow.
That's cool.
At 45 degrees. And I mean, you think about early morning, what that does to wake you up. That's your cup of coffee right there.
Right.
I mean, that's going to get you going. And so we're going to be introducing different protocols for the different times of day on, how should you interact sauna with the cold wash. So first,
that's exciting, you guys.
So go back to tips. So obviously we need to hydrate. What do you recommend? Like the day before, really start putting some water and electrolytes? What do you think?
Yeah, so when you book your session with us, we like to send out those reminders, right? Because we want you to come feeling prepared. So we say, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So we should be hydrating all the time, but especially, we know we have a sauna coming up, our session, so make sure we're hydrating before. Make sure you're hydrating during. You want to bring your water bottle with you, chug that down while you're in there, and hydrate after. Electrolytes are really great too, just to make sure you have that extra hydration. You want to wear loose fitting clothing when you come in, because if you come from the gym like I do sometimes and you forget your clothes and you're wearing your little spandex or leggings, that can be a little difficult to get them back on. You might be struggling for a couple minutes, or your tennis shoes, you don't want to put your socks back on. To just come in more of a loose fitting attire just makes it easier to get redressed when you're done.
You don't want a super full stomach because you got to think about like as you're requiring that blood to get to the muscles that are being heated up. You don't want to go away from your digestive system. So you don't want to be super full.
So that was a question I had, because I ate about 30 minutes before I went there, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's good. You want to come in with something in your stomach.
Yeah, you don't want to
come in with a heavy stomach because your body's going to saying, hey, you're asking me to digest this food, but now you're asking me to increase your heart rate to cool your body to get you may get a little nauseous.
Or you're trying to sip a lot of water on a full stomach.
So we don't. It's not a pleasant feeling to be in there after you just chow down.
People like to come at all different times. Like I said, there's nothing better than feeling like you woke up early, got a good workout in, got your sauna session and then starting your day. I mean, for us girls, like people say all the time, I'm trying to schedule my sauna session around like my hair washing schedule. So it's like, okay, your hair is already dirty from your workout, you're already sweaty. Compile those together, then get your one shower, save some water. So I mean, I think us ladies like that. But nighttime is a great time to sauna too. He talked about how you're raising your core body temperature, so it's like working so hard that by the time you get home, and also if you're using like the right color light therapy that triggers sleep, it just puts you to rest. I mean, we've had so many people that came in and are like, I slept so much better.
It's that thermoregulation because your body's because you heat yourself up. And then why people typically don't sleep well is because their internal body temperature is running too high. And so when you heat yourself up, your body is actively trying to cool yourself down. It makes you sleepy.
Yeah.
So then you go home, a couple hours later and you're ready
to
that's good.
This was awesome, you guys. What didn't we ask you that we should have asked you?
We had lots of good questions.
Maybe just like the membership experience with the app and like the ease of how you can just schedule and pre-book and sort of
so we do have a Perspire 2.0 app, which I think is super, super user-friendly. So you can download that. If you haven't came into Perspire yet, then you'll just have to create an account, which again, it's name, email, super convenient. You put that in and you'll just be able to go through, book a session through there. It'll show you the day of the week, the location you want to go to, your sauna slot. So super easy to book through there. You can also call our studio at any time. One of our team members can get that booked for you. You can also book through our website. So we have lots of ways to book. If you're just walking by, come on in and we can get you scheduled too. But I think a huge thing about Perspire too that we didn't really touch on is just the personalized experience. So we did talk about how you come in and you have your private sauna room. But we also are really huge on just preferences. Like we want this experience to be all about you and get the most out of it. So when you come to Perspire for their first time, you're going to be greeted. You're going to be given a room tour, which you guys experience, so you feel comfortable knowing how to operate the sauna, which isn't hard, but you'll understand how to do that. You'll understand the benefits. We watch an intro video that gets to go into a deeper dive on that. But when you're leaving, we check, what TV show did you like to watch? Do you always want it on Netflix? Do you want to keep watching the Kardashians or, whatever it is? Was that temperature good for you guys? Did you want to increase it? What about that red light? I don't want you to have to click it on every time. Are you always going to want to use red light? Let's put that on for you. So we're really big on when you come in, your room's set for you, your cold towels in there. It's just a really personalized experience.
Yep. And that's what I was when I talk about the business model. It's like the member experience. There's two things we can control. We can control how friendly we are, and we can control really how people feel when they're in the studio, just with that relational piece, and we can control how clean they are. And I hope that you guys saw that. Like,
for sure.
That cleanliness of the studio. The sauna is doing the rest, right?
Yeah.
The devices are doing all the rest. It's not, you don't have to serve a 5-star meal. There's not a lot of room for error.
Right.
If we're really friendly, people have a really great experience, and we're really clean, they're good.
Yeah.
It's going to take care of itself.
I think the eucalyptus towel at the end is one of the best too.
Yes, that's super refreshing. And I would also note that for anyone that hasn't tried Perspire yet, your first session, we call it our intro session. It's no different than your typical 40-minute session. It's just your first time. That's $20. So that's great. Get people in to make sure they take advantage of that. We are membership based. So we have different membership packages depending on, what you're coming in for. We already went into the details and the importance on coming frequently. But we also have packages too, as sometimes, memberships might not always be the best fit for someone at that moment. So lots of different options to make sure we can,
but just give it a try. That's what I would say. Just come and check it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
I feel like I could go into it forever, but but like giving it a try, like the crazy thing is you truly will get addicted to it. So it's like the first time you come, like everyone loves it, right? But it's like, then you come again, then you really love it, and you come again. So it's like giving it a try, but then another try, honestly. Then you're truly experiencing, that feeling of what your body's going through and what it's benefiting
What the
from.
benefits could be.
Missing it. You're like, man, I haven't been in.
Right? I already feel that way. I'm like, I want to go with Ray. So.
I used to have, before we were members, I started off, I think it was like the 8 times a month membership, and I would get done with mine like 2 weeks before my billing cycle, and I was like, like, I need to go. He's like, just get the unlimited. I was like, okay, I will. And so it's funny.
I love it. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. This was so good. Yes. I hope everybody comes and checks it out, and you have a variety of locations. So that's super cool. We love to end on a little speed round. So are you up for our speed round?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Okay. Super quick. It's rapid fire. What's your favorite food?
Mexican.
I don't know. Chicken.
Favorite drink?
Ooh, poppies right now.
Yeah, we're both on the pop. Yeah,
are you?
Sure. Like, poppies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Black.
Tan.
Me too.
Okay.
Neutrals.
Favorite book?
Ooh. I'm not really a reader. That's embarrassing. So I'm gonna have to go with the Bible.
There you go.
Yeah. Bibles, devotionals.
Okay.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay. Do you have a favorite podcast?
Oh. Well,
Dr. Peter T.
Okay.
Yeah. Andrew Huberman.
Guy.
I mean, they're both. They take more complex.
And they make it simple.
And they do layman's terms, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm always listening to him listen to podcasts. So.
Okay. Last but not least, do you have a favorite vacation?
Ooh. Probably our Carlsbad.
Yeah, we go to Carlsbad every year with the family.
Yeah.
It's a theme. We've been hearing that a lot.
I know. It's like the best little hidden secret that's no longer going to be a hidden secret because everyone's going to go.
I know.
So us Arizona people just going to California.
Yeah. It's
I
close. It's cool.
Yeah.
The ocean.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so
fun.
much.
Thank
We
you.
hope we get lots of people coming in to check it out because that would be so good.
Support. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. Make sure to follow or subscribe to the Home Selling Team on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify to stay up to date with our podcast.